Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. Today we get to have fun with the 1973 Honda CB350 and these Mikuni carbs. So yes, we're going to yank the factory carbs off and put those Mikuni VM28s on from Speed Moto Co. And we're going to see what happens. So it shouldn't be a big job. All I'm going to have to do is pull the tank off, pull the side covers off, and I think all I'm going to need is a 10mm and a Phillips screwdriver to be able to pull the intakes off here and put the new ones on, and a Phillips head screwdriver to be able to pull this speedo cable off, to undo this, to pull the speedo cable off, and then be able to get it all set up. So I'm going to get you guys set up real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and knock this thing out. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get started. First thing first, let's pull the tank off. Let's get this other side cover off. Okay, so here we are, got the tank off, side covers off. Only thing I have to do now is undo this clamp, and there's two 10mm on each side. So easy enough. That's one of two. We're that much closer to putting those Mikuni carbs on. It's just those 10mm right here. Hopefully I can get on it. We'll clean up the mating surface right there, and then we'll go from there. Okay, let me go get the chicken off the grill. So yeah, you did hear me right. I did say I had to get the chicken off the grill. So that was it. That looks pretty yummy, 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 yummy. If it was smell-o-vision, you guys would really enjoy it. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and I'll get back to it in just a second. Okay guys, so as per the instructions, you're going to want to put some RTV sealant between the cylinder head and the new intake manifolds. These guys, I'm also using the intakes, so I'm going to go ahead and put some RTV on this side of the intake, and then on the cylinder side of the gasket. So when I put it on there, I'm getting a better surface, better sealing surface. I'm just going to go ahead and use that gasket for that. So right now, that's what I'm going to do, is fun with RTV. Stuff is almost as bad as anti-seize for getting everywhere no matter what. See, just got some on my hand. So let me go ahead and get this inside edge cleaned out really good, and then this outside edge. Just take a couple of seconds to clean up around the edges. so that when it does squeeze out, it's not as bad and it's easier to clean up. I'd rather do that than leave the RTV kind of hanging out on the edge. I mean, it's not a big deal. Might as well take the effort to clean it up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and stick my finger inside here and get this out. There, we'll let that cure up a little bit. Drop them on, just so I can get this mess out of the way. Same thing right here. We'll send those up in just a second. And just toss this. So this is where my OCD kicks in, because you know, if you leave that tube, that nozzle on there, it's just gonna harden up and you're not gonna have any when you need it. So let me see if I find a couple of Q-tips. And yeah, let me see. Try to get it all out. There we go. Wipe that off. We'll screw this guy in just to keep it so it'll still move. And all that goes away. Clean up my mess. And we're done with that. We've got our RTV sandwich over here. I'm gonna push it through, kind of line it up. Get my holes lined up. Same thing with this guy. My holes lined up, and then now it's just screwing them in. I'm not going super tight right now, just snugging it up just to let that. We'll get a little tighter in just a little bit. We'll get that RTV to cure a little bit more. Just try to clean up some of the RTV that's sticking out. There we go. Again, I just snugged it up so far. I'll come back and tighten it up a little. This is just hand tight. Here, we're going to jump over and do the same thing on the other side. Okay guys, you can see I have the two intake boots on. A little housekeeping I need to do before I get too far ahead. And what I mean by that is that I kind of scratched up the frame, putting the tank on and off. I like to just use either POR 15 or Rust-Oleum. I just keep a can of this, some of these little foam brushes, just to touch up some of this stuff, just like this. And I'm just gonna come through here, just kind of touch that up. Just all the little spots where it looks like it just got marred up from putting it on and off. So I'll just touch that up. All right there. That just makes such a difference. Just cleans it up, and it lays down really smooth. So there's a little spot right there. So it lays down. Either this or the POR 15 works out great. You know, so just to touch up any of the bits on the frame. So I just wanted to show that because I had stopped. I was about to move on to put the throttle cable in, but I said let me touch this up before I do it, because this hopefully is the last time I have the tank off. Okay, now we're back here on the throttle, so we can open this up to get to the throttle assembly. So let's go ahead and just open this guy up. There we go. Get this guy out of here. Then I'll feed this cable through and up. now it's just unscrewing it from the bottom, screwing it from here, and this cable will be out. Feed this guy up through. So we're going to do the same thing. Have to screw it in. We'll go on. It should be good. Make sure this guy is set all the way through. And then get your tail. Fitting it right in there. It only goes in one way, so it's relatively easy. Say that. And get this guy in here, and then clamp it on like a big clamshell. One of the most important things, I think, is to make sure that this stays seated, because it'll come out. If it's not seated in here, then it'll pop out and it'll be like you have the high idle. So you just want to make sure of that. And then you can just run it right alongside and then right underneath. It's going to go in, and we'll zip it right under here. But we'll be able to go one to that side and one to this side. And that's it. So cables run. The tank will sit right in under here, so the tank will go right over that. Still make sure you leave you enough room for when you're going left, so you don't bind up your cable, so you don't speed up when you're going that way. So that's the important thing about routing it, is just to make sure you're in good shape, being able to nice clean lines so the cables aren't bunched up, and to make sure that that 2-into-1 connection is really solid. So now we'll get on to installing the carbs. Tightening these down now that I've had enough time for that RTV to cure. This is such an easy upgrade to do. In Speedmoto Co, they give you everything you need. It comes complete. The only thing to make it better is if more complete, I mean not better, but more complete, is if they gave you a little bitty little blister pack of RTV, so you wouldn't even have to have any. I mean, then you would have everything. The only other thing they'd have to give you is a little IKEA 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver, and you could put this thing together with zero tools. I mean, all you need, 10mm wrench to pull off these bolts that hold the intake on, and then a Phillips head screwdriver for the clamps. Rest is pretty easy. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull the slide out and install the throttle cable into the slide. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull the cap off, and you have a good spring here, and then just to dump it out. This has your needle and the needle setting right there. You can see it right here where it's set. And so that just drops right in. You can see right there, it just drops right in, seats right on the bottom. And then when you drop this retainer in, when you put this guy back in, see how it's got two little tabs? Once you drop it in, it's gonna sit in, or if I can find it, in the tab right there that holds the throttle cable. So just keep that in mind. And again, that guy sits in, and make sure this guy is seated all the way too. It'll make it easier on you. And I gotta run my spring all the way down. Make sure your cable stays fed in the center. Here, I'll just do this. Let me get this in. This is where you're gonna have to use your finger, and then just feed it through. If I can see it. Let's see if I can get this guy in. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Get it all the way through, get it to seat. And then I've got my retaining clip in. It's a whole lot easier than I think I made it look. It just takes a little wiggling. And then you have here, this is where your idle screw goes, right here. And then you should have a guide. You can see it, a little guide pin right there. I don't know if you can see it right in there, a little guide pin right here. So you want to line up that guide pin with this groove. So just sit it in. And then it'll go through the needle. There you go. I think I'm in. Let's see. Make sure I'm good. Line it up. It take a couple of times. You'll get it. You'll feel it. It'll just click right in once it does. Just like that. As on cue. And then just tighten this guy down. Make sure you get it all the way down, because if not, that your slide won't go all the way down. Same thing with, make sure it's set in, there's a little cap that it's got to sit in here, so make sure it's in there all the way. And then before I even move to the other side, I'm going to go ahead and line this guy up. Put my clamp there. Just give me a couple of twists, make sure I got plenty of room. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. And I am now halfway there. Just have one more. Same thing to repeat on the other side. And Bob's your uncle. Bob may be your uncle, but for some of us it's just a saying. The air cleaner on, so that I am completely done on this side. I think I'm going to put the air cleaner on. I think I'm going to have to do battery box maintenance like I did on the other. Yeah, I am. Like I had to do on the 550. I'm going to have to spin this battery box. I'm going to have to spin this battery box because it looks like my my air cleaner is going to hit this battery box. I'm just going to just turn it sideways, I think, and I should be able to have enough room. Or I'll put a different intake on it. I mean a different air cleaner. But we'll leave it off for now since we're here. And we're going to jump to the other side and go ahead and do the same thing in reverse, and I'll check back with you guys. Okay guys, I've got both carbs installed, throttle cables installed. One thing you want to check on is making sure that your slide is moving fully. Let's see if I can get you in here. I may have to do the other side. Is making sure, yeah, I think you can see in there. Making sure that your slide is moving fully. Coming in and out, that's good. And one thing I did see, I'll spin you guys over here so you can see it. One thing that I did once I had the throttle cable all in and this other carburetor on, I was testing to make sure, that both of the slides were lifting at the same time, and I realized that one of these had pulled out, because you got to make sure they're seated in there. So I went ahead and pulled it all out, jammed it back in, put the rubber bits back in, and then I zip tied it just to hold it in place to make sure everything's good. And now we just have to put the tank on, put some fuel lines to it, and see if it'll start. Had some petcock issues on my tank, so I've got an auxiliary tank, and let's go ahead and turn it on. Get the key out. Let's try first start. Let's see what happens. It's dead cold. I haven't done anything to it. This will be first start. So let's back you guys up just a little bit. So let's see what happens. Key on. Let's try a little choke. Let's try again. get enough fuel. Get some fuel in there. Choke. Popping, getting close. Make sure I got the spark on both sides. Spark plug here. Make sure we got a spark. I may have unplugged. I may have accidentally unplugged something. Let's see. Get you guys in here just to make sure we have a spark. Get you guys in here. Looks like we're looking right here for spark. Yep. Yeah, we got spark. Sounds like we got spark on the other side because it was. There we go. Sounds like it's getting close. Let's see. Is down. Is that on? Let's try again. sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Let's hit it again. I need to tweak it a little bit, but now that we got fuel to it, it took a little while to get some fuel to it. I don't think I had enough coming through, but we'll have to tweak it a little bit. But hey guys, so there you have it. It's a runner. I just got to sort out my petcock. I got a challenge over here. I got to sort out. I had a leaky petcock. So the Mikuni VM28 Carb Kit from Speed Moto Co. It's a win, just as good as the one, the VM38 that I got for the CB350 from Speed Moto Co. Guys, it's good. It took a little while to get fuel to it. Once I did, it goes ahead and starts as it should. So let's go ahead, turn it on. I'll tweak it, make it work a little bit better, but right now, it's pretty good. So, it's another one. I can't wait to ride this. We'll tweak it. It's raining outside now. We'll tweak it a little bit. I've got to get the petcock sorted out. We'll get that sorted out, and the next time you should be seeing us riding it, taking it for a rip up down the road, which will be awesome because that'll be really the first official ride for this CB350 since we put it all together. I want to thank you guys for watching us put the new Mikuni carbs on it from Speed Moto Co. And as always, like, tag, share, and follow, and please subscribe. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.